We might be able to get to sleep. Are we getting quality deep and REM sleep? Every single cell in the human body has its own clock. Why was I around all this artificial light? Why was I not wearing blue light blocking glasses? Why was I not using red light? And why was I not dialing into my light hygiene? Sperm counts in males are at an all-time low.
This is Catch-Ups in My Kitchen, the catch-up you need every week in order to look, feel and be the best version of yourself. Join me in my kitchen every week as I speak to a new guest about all things food, health and wellness. Whether it's a specialist in their field, an inspiring story, or just a big girly catch-up full of all the recommendations, tips and advice. In my kitchen, we talk about it all. Hey guys, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Catch-Ups in My Kitchen with me, Georgia Simmons, host of the podcast. In my kitchen this week, I am joined by Andy Mant, who is the CEO and co-founder of BonCharge. BonCharge is the biohacking brand which is making a difference. We are living in a world which is making it harder for us to actually be well. We are talking about an increase in radiation, an increase in blue light, and all of the above. And BonCharge is here to help us live in this unhealthy world with blue blocking glasses, red light therapy, EMF blockers. We go into it all in this episode. This episode is so insightful. If you want to learn how to be the best version of yourself, you have definitely come to the right place. I'm going to be listening back to this episode so many times and taking more notes. Andy is so insightful and I know you're going to love it. Before we get into the episode, I'd love to ask a quick small favor. If you could select and press that follow button, it means the world for the growth of the podcast. We have some really exciting things coming this year, so every follow and subscriber means the world to us. Thank you so much in advance, and now let's go and join Andy in the kitchen. Andy, welcome to the kitchen. How are you?
I am great. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So excited for this conversation. Before we get into it, do you mind giving a quick elevator pitch? Who you are and what you do.
I'm Andy Mant. I'm the CEO and one of the co-founders of BonCharge. We're a red light therapy, Infra-Red sauna tech brand. Actually, we do a lot more than that, which we'll talk about during this conversation, I'm sure. But all entrenched in biohacking, all evidence-based, all evidence-backed.
Amazing. I was saying before we started recording, like red light now is like what everyone's talking about. One of my questions on here is favorite wellness product. Yeah. And in the last couple of episodes, the amount of times people have said red light mask has increased so much.
Wow.
And I'm like, it really is now a popular thing that people are using. Like my mum is loving hers. And 2 years ago, if you said to me, your mum's going to be wearing a red light mask at night, I'd be like, no, she's not. And yeah, now she is and she loves it. So I can't wait to get into this. We have a quick fire round though to kick things off about all things food. So, what's your favourite restaurant in London?
Oh, I like Humo in Mayfair. It's relatively new. It does this amazing 5-course dinner and it's all done with different phases of fire. So I typically follow a carnivore diet, so it works really well for me. So you get a piece of meat and it's like you got smoke, embers, fire, and then obviously get a dessert afterwards as well. So That's it's all cool. The different phases all the way through from just embers to nothing. So it's epic.
So cool.
Yeah,
I haven't heard of that. Okay, one wellness brand or product that you couldn't live without.
Well, I have to say BonCharge, really. I actually practice what I preach. So I do a lot of other biohacks as well that, again, we'll come on to. But yeah, I guess wellness product for me, probably my sauna blanket. I love it. It's so good. And even in Australia, when it's so hot, it's so good for heart rate variability and it helps me sleep as well. So
amazing. Yeah, I want to talk about that in more detail in a minute. Okay, what is your hangover meal?
Hangover meal? I don't often get hungover.
I knew you were going to say that.
Drink too much, but I'm not teetotal, so I will probably have a few drinks at Christmas or on a special occasion. So my hangover cure, probably a good walk, getting natural light, getting grounded, and probably ODing on electrolytes, I think, rather than just the one shot, probably having them throughout the day.
Yes, electrolytes is key.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your favourite coffee shop?
Favorite coffee shop? Well, you guys probably hate me for this, but the coffee in the UK is terrible. Australia invented the flat white. Yeah. So there's one near where I live called Archie and Max in Western Australia, which is so good. The coffee's amazing.
Yeah, you guys have it really good out there.
Really good.
I travelled around Australia and I was like, wow, this is like the best.
Apart from matcha's terrible there.
Okay,
They sweeten it. So
okay,
it's very, very sweet.
Matches, we're getting there here. Yeah. We're getting there.
Good.
Okay, which food for you is a complete no-no?
It's hard to say because the diet I follow is very clean, but I do like, you know, fried food from now and again, you know, like I eat French fries maybe once a month or something like that. But look, probably anything that's got seed oil in it is really bad and should be limited to like, you know, one meal a month.
Yeah, definitely agree. And what is your favourite dish to cook at home?
I'm so lazy with cooking. I'm so bad. I used to be really, really good with cooking. I used to cook loads and loads before I got into wellness and biohacking. So I loved cooking. But I guess now my diet is incredibly restrictive in most people's eyes. So I guess what I cook best and what I enjoy the most is probably a ribeye steak, a nice bit of Australian Wagyu.
Nice. Okay, I want to start at the beginning of your health journey because I feel like that's kind of where Bond Charge stems from. Mm-hmm. So can you kind of explain that process?
Yeah, I'll do the like shortened version, so I'm not talking for an hour just on my health journey. But I moved to Australia in 2011, and I moved because better work opportunities there, and also because there's more sunlight, and I was really depressed in the winters. Like I used to get seasonal affective disorder around about February. My mum still gets it. She lives in the UK, and every February she's like so miserable. So I moved to Australia, and I thought it would be like really good for my health because I was pretty well in shape in the UK. I used to go to the gym all the time, work out, and it was the opposite for me in Australia. I just started eating really crappy food and wasn't in the best place, and I gained like 30 pounds, which is, you guys do in pounds here, right? Yeah, that's good. Because when I do these in Australia and America, they're like, what's a pound? So about like 12 kilos heavier than what I am now. And I had some real bad wake up calls. Like I was in hospital with, like I collapsed like in a nightclub basically at like 3 a.m, rushed to hospital, and I was 25 and I had these real severe kidney stones at 25. To the point where I couldn't pass them. They were like massive stones. So I had to get them lasered out, and that was a big wake up call for me. And I was just like, what am I doing? Like I'm 25, and I used to play sport at a really good level. I used to be really active. I used to go to the gym lots, and like 25, and I'm like in hospital with kidney stones. What's going on? So that was a bit of a turning point, and it led me to try a load of diets to try and lose the weight. And I was trying like low calorie, like low fat, everything that like the government was saying, like, this is good, you know, eat 5 a day and all that nonsense. And it just wasn't helping me. I was just more depressed. I couldn't lose the weight. I was exercising. That didn't work. And then I decided to sort of do my own research, and I discovered a ketogenic diet back, and, you know, this was like 2014. So it was like brand new. No one had really heard of it. So it was like eating lots of fat and eating lots of like bacon and eggs basically. And I lost weight like effortlessly, lost like 30-40 pounds. It's like lighter than what I am now.
Through eating bacon and
just
eggs?
Literally bacon, eggs, and just like spoonfuls of like olive oil and stuff like that. And I found it quite straightforward because dieting is all about adherence, right? It's like no point me saying to you be a carnivore if you're a vegan. Like you don't want to do it. If it works for you and you find that food tasty, then do it. That's the first stage of dieting. Probably not for lifestyle, but for dieting, right? If your goal is to lose weight or to change biomarkers. Now, after that, it just then led me to think, well, what else can I improve in my life? I started to get a taste for this of like, wow, I feel empowered, right? If I go and do my own research, I can come up with all these protocols that make me healthier. And my sleep was terrible. So getting in shape for our wedding at the time, Katie and I decided to sort of look at other areas other than diet that were, you know, impacting our performance, and sleep was one. I wasn't sleeping very well. I was like waking up constantly in the night and waking up feeling tired all the time. And then in the forums that I was in, there was this guy that just kept like coming in and out of the forums. I say forums, this is like the Instagram of back in 2014, right? Reddit and all that good stuff. And going on those forums, this guy just kept weighing in about light, and he kept coming in Dr. Jack Kruse is his name. And he was talking about light and how like we were all talking nonsense. Diet doesn't matter unless you're under the right light. And everyone was like calling this guy crazy. And when people start being called crazy and people like challenging them, it makes me wake up and be like, I want to understand why this guy's saying this stuff. So I started researching why he was talking about light and found that blue light after dark, green light as well, impacted sleep. So I tried blue light blocking glasses from Amazon, which are these glasses with like an orange tint that block blue light and supposedly help melatonin, which is your sleep hormone, produce more, which then creates better sleep. So I tried them, my sleep improved, but it still didn't feel optimal.
This one simple thing has completely changed my life, and that is mouth taping. I have never been one to prioritize sleep, but in January I started mouth taping and my sleep and my productivity skyrocketed. The deep restorative sleep you get from mouth taping is completely insane. Nasal breathing is the way we should be breathing at night, and mouth taping really, really promotes this. I wanted to bring it to more people, so I started Healthy Habits to bring you a luxurious and aesthetic mouth tape that you can use every day and feel proud to use. If you're intrigued on the benefits or want to give mouth taping a go, this is your sign to do so. Click the link in the show notes and use the code CATCHUPS20 to try mouth tape today. I promise you will never sleep better, and just thank me later. Now let's get back to the episode.
So I found that with these glasses that I was buying, they didn't block the exact frequencies that the scientific literature was saying should be blocked. So I got an optics lab in Australia to make me a pair of glasses that did, sent them to a few influencers that I knew that were using blue light glasses and explained why I was sending them to them and why they shouldn't use the ones that they were using and they should use ours. And they all reported back in a couple of months that their sleep scores using their Oura Ring at the time significantly improved, and I should start a company. So that was kind of how it
it's wild. Like if you think about like diet, losing weight, your health journey, and how that led to blue blocking glasses, that is kind of strange because people would never put those two together.
Yeah.
You would think lose weight, gym, or lose weight, salads. Like you'd never think blue glasses, but sleep is so powerful. Mm-hmm. We all know it. We've all heard it before. But I'm one who, I used to find it like a badge of honor to say that I slept 5 hours. I used to think was like, like, look how great I am. I can function for 5 hours, which I can. I've never been one to like prioritize sleep. So if I'm busy, I'll like work late and still get up early and go to the gym. Like my sleep time will always be the one that gets shortened. And it wasn't until this year when I started mouth taping, which we'll go on to, but that really woke my eyes up into like, oh wow, like deep sleep makes a huge difference because you're more energized. You don't need that snack. You don't need that extra coffee. All those things that kind of like add up, and like your digestion is better, like everything is just better. So that makes so much sense that like by sleeping you then also like felt better, lost weight. But a lot of us aren't wearing blue blocking lenses. A lot of us aren't. Like I have screen glasses, but they're not, I mean I'm sure they're not blue blocking glasses. Like they help with the screen reflection and everything, which is great, but I don't use like blue blocking glasses. So as your your marketer, I am a marketer's dream. Like honestly, if you tell me something, I will probably do it. So why should we all be wearing blue light glasses?
So let me talk about why it's important to control something called a circadian rhythm, right? So every human has this body clock, okay, and it's in the center of their brain. It's in the suprachiasmatic nucleus, and this clock is what tells your body what time of the day it is. And why that's super important is because hormone secretion needs to happen at certain times of the day, and this is all governed by this clock system. Now, the clock system, the body clock, it was created and we evolved with it like hundreds of thousands of years ago. Like every human has one, every animal has one. How it's entrained, so by entrained, I mean how it gets its cues from outside, because it's internal, right? So it needs to know what's going on outside. It's all from light. So when the sun rises in the morning, that sends a message through our eyes to our body clock to say, it's time to release dopamine, it's time to release serotonin, and it's time to release cortisol. And these are all important because in the morning, it helps us feel alert and awake and happy. And that's what we need as humans during the day. Now, ancestrally would have been outside all the day, and the sun changes in spectrum of light throughout the day. So during the day, you get to solar noon, and that's the most optimal time to eat. Your digestive clock system comes into play, and all the leptin, ghrelin, insulin, it's at the most optimal levels to digest food. That signal will come through through your eyes and into your body clock from the sun. Then as the sun sets, there would be reds and oranges, and the campfire would be reds and oranges, and those would send clues into the body clock to say, we don't need that cortisol anymore, we need melatonin. So start dialing down cortisol, start dialing up melatonin, start getting us relaxed and in that parasympathetic state before bed. Now, what we're doing in the modern world is we've still got that same clock system. It hasn't evolved. It's still the same thing. It's perfect. But we're bringing mini suns into our environment, and they're always cued to the same frequency. So they don't change throughout the day. They're just telling us it's solar noon every single minute that they're on. So we might be outside all day getting sunlight, but then when we come in the evening and we've still got these on, our body's like, let's keep cortisol high. Let's keep the stress hormone really high into the evening. And we might be able to get to sleep okay, but are we getting quality deep and REM sleep? Some people can't get to sleep because of this, so it disrupts the body clock. And the reason this is so important is because melatonin is needed to get that deep restorative sleep. Melatonin is the most powerful antioxidant our body can get, and it creates it itself, and it can't create it optimally in the presence of blue and green light. And blue light is found in your smartphone, it's found in your laptop, it's found in your house lights. If you open your fridge, that's blue light. It's not the color blue you're seeing, it's normally a white light, but it contains blue wavelengths, and that's what's disrupting your melatonin production.
It's crazy because we are all set up now in this modern world to then not sleep very well. Because what if you're a night owl and you work well late at night? Or what about yourself, a business owner? Surely you've had moments where you felt the need to be working late. How do you manage that when you also know that you need to be winding down?
Yeah, I mean, you can manage. I guess ideally you wouldn't work in the evening. Like this whole, I know there's so many things out there like night owls and bears and wolves and dolphins and what have you about different sleep chronotypes. I don't believe that. I believe that everyone should sleep in a certain pattern with the sun. But, that's not practical for some people. So in order to create physiological darkness, to trick that body clock into thinking it's nighttime, even when your lights are on in your house, you can filter it using blue light blocking glasses. So you can have the orange or red lenses, but they have to block exactly 100% of the light between a very specific banding. It's between 400 and 550 nanometers. And this is why we started Bond Charge, because none of the glasses were blocking within this range. People wearing clear lenses in the evening thinking it blocks blue light. If you can see the color blue, it's not blocking blue light, right? So what that does is it stops those frequencies going through your eyes, so it doesn't trigger cortisol release from the body clock. It blocks those frequencies, and then the body clock will say, brilliant, it's nighttime, which it is, even with the lights on. Let's start producing melatonin. But what you'll see wearing blue light glasses, if you're, say, going to bed at 11 o'clock at night and you're wearing them after the sun sets, you're going to be going to bed a lot earlier. And you're going to retrain your circadian rhythm, which should be in line with that rising and setting sun.
It's so interesting. Are you quite strict now on yourself with your nighttime routine?
Yeah.
As to
it's 2 hours before bed, I will
bed.
wear them. Yeah, because if I put them on now, I'll be asleep at 6, which just isn't practical.
Yeah.
I guess another thing to kind of say in terms of how you'll feel wearing blue light blocking glasses, it's like diet, right? You don't know how shitty you're feeling until you change your diet, right? And I think that the same is true with light. Once you start managing light and taking light more importantly, and treating it like a nutrient, which it is, it works at a mitochondrial level, the same as nutrients and micronutrients. You'll then look back and go, what was I doing? Why was I around all this artificial light? Why was I not wearing blue light blocking glasses? Why was I not using red light? And why was I not dialing into my light hygiene? The same as you do with a healthy diet. Once you go back to eating junk food, you feel even worse because you don't know what good is.
So true. And am I right in saying you should be wearing them in the airport as well?
It depends, right? There's different lenses. So you can wear yellow lenses in the airport because that takes off the fluorescent glare. But what you got to understand is that blue light isn't bad. It's good during the day. The sky's blue, not so much here in the UK. In Australia, it's blue, but that's what signals the cues to the body, right? The body clock needs those cues. So you don't need to be too scared of it. I guess from a daytime standpoint, blue light is so bad from your computers, your laptops in artificial lighting because it is only blue light. When you're outside in sunlight, it's the same amount of blue, the same amount of red, the same amount of orange, same amount of green. Blue light is great because it makes you feel alert, but it also causes cellular damage. Red light's great because it does cellular repair. So your laptop, your house lights, no red light in it. So you're getting all the benefits of blue light during the day if your lights are on during the day, but you're getting cellular damage. Now there's no red light present in your laptop and in your smartphone to help repair that. So that we're taking this blue light in isolation, and that's where it's bad during the day. When it's balanced and full spectrum, it's not an issue because nature doesn't want to kill you, right? It wants to make you thrive. So when you're out in the sun, get the benefits of the blue, get the cortisol spike during the day, you get cellular damage in your skin, but then the red light in there and the infrared is repairing it as it happens. So you get this homeostasis.
So fascinating. So you started off with blue blocking glasses, and then you went from blue light to red light. So was that your second product? Was red light the next thing for Bond? Third. Okay. What was second?
Third was red light therapy.
Okay.
Second was red light. Okay. So red light and red light therapy are two very different things. So you've got therapeutic grade red light therapy, which is for cellular repair. We'll come on to that one in a bit. Our second product we launched blue light glasses based on circadian entrainment. So your body clock was out of whack. Let's wear some blue light blocking glasses that work so our body thinks it's nighttime when it is, and we can be healthy. Then a study came out in 2018, about a year after we launched the company, saying that every single cell in the human body has its own clock. So you can wear blue light glasses, but if that light's shining on your skin, it's going to send a message via a peripheral clock to your master clock that it's nighttime and to dial down melatonin.
So you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
What?
So now what? So we thought, well, we've got to change lighting. We've got to change lighting in people's homes. Yes, they've got their blue light glasses on, and yes, they're incredibly covered up under artificial light. But what about the light that's shining onto their skin? They can't be covered in the middle of summer in Australia. You're going to want to be, just in a singlet and shorts. So we decided to create a set of light bulbs and lamps that basically were in tune with what the light would be like at certain times of the day. So we invented a red light bulb that you could put into your lamps, and it would give this like red glow, probably similar to your friend that you were telling me about off air earlier in Texas. And we had little lamps and little night lights. Then we invented a full spectrum light bulb that you could turn off and on 3 times, and it would have morning sun spectrum, afternoon sun spectrum, and evening night lighting, going from sort of pure white all the way to orange. And then that wouldn't trigger the peripheral clock system to talk to the master clock. Then came red light therapy, because we were like, okay, that's great, but we can't change people's laptops and smartphones and TVs. So we're going to need, if people are sat in front of their TV and smartphone, we don't want to tell them to go and live in a field and just give these devices up. We were like, we need to get them restorative red light, and it's not enough in a light bulb because the irradiance isn't high enough, and we can go into that if we need to. But the therapeutic grade red light therapy devices are needed after being in front of blue light to be able to restore and repair. That's why myself and Katie use them every day after we've been in artificial light. We will do red light therapy. After I've spoken to you, I will go home and do red light therapy to restore and create that balance.
Amazing. And do you use, I know you guys have a range of products depending on, I guess, preference and how your lifestyle is.
Yeah.
Do you personally use the panel, or you have a blanket as well, I believe? Which one do you use personally?
I like the blanket because I can get 360 coverage. The panel's great if you have like an injury. So you can just like put your knees in front of it or your half of your body or whatever. I like the blanket because I'm doing red light therapy, not so much for sort of an injury recovery or anything like that. It's more cellular optimization. So being in front of this red light is this artificial light now is damaging my cells. It's not caused the damage, it's damaging them. So I'll go home and use the red light blanket, I'll get into it, so all of my cells can just be restored from the small amount of damage that's happening now from it. But over time, if I continually sit in front of that without red light therapy, I'm going to age faster. My mitochondria are going to be less optimized to produce energy, and I'm just going to my speed of aging is going to increase as a result of that.
So basically, I'm sat here every week in front of this massively bright and artificial light. So basically, I'm going to be aging so much more.
So much more. Yeah, exactly.
It's so
not
scary.
good.
I mean, I do use my red light mask
Good.
4 times a week.
Brilliant.
Which I love, but I don't currently have a full body one.
Yeah.
But that's on the Christmas list. I mean, but this is amazing. So you mentioned you launched that in 2018.
Yes.
We're now in 2025, about to go into 2026, and I'm now hearing red light a lot.
Yeah.
I actually bought my red light in 2019, so I do feel like I was slightly ahead of the curve. I was an early adopter.
Yeah.
But when you guys launched in 2018 and you're banging this drum about light, surely people must have been like, what are you talking about? Because I feel like so much has changed in this industry between then and now.
Yes and no. I guess you got to look at who your audience is, right? So there's a very, very small niche of people called biohackers. And that's the community I was in. Very, very much early adopters, extreme lengths to do or to optimize their biology. Think Brian Johnson, think Dave Asprey, those types of guys, right? When you're talking to them, it's not about educating them on blue light blocking glasses and what they do. They know what they do. It's educating them on why they're the best. So that's where we started. And then we went out and expanded our marketing from there. So we conquered the biohackers, and then we went out to people that were into alternative dieting because they were able to think critically like I did at the beginning of my journey, to be like, guys, your diet's great, but what about light? Like preachy Jack Cruz that came into the forums. And then from there you go out to the wellness girlies, and then from there the general public. So it's almost like small circles, like slightly bigger and so forward. If you try and educate the masses without going through that marketing journey, you're going to be banging on a door not growing ever. You have to go for the early adopters, the ones that really get it, then the ones that are open to getting it, and then the wellness will come as a result of that, and then you attack the mass market, and then that's how you sustain
that
growth.
Makes a lot of sense, because I guess those who got it already got it, so you could like tap into them. That makes a lot of sense. But is all red light made equally?
No. Certain frequencies of light are better than others, and they're better than others right now because they're more studied. So 630 and 660 nanometer red light, in between that banding, is the most studied visible red frequency for therapeutic benefits, and they seem to be really good at stimulating something called fibroblasts. Fibroblasts are they're a bit like stem cells. Like, I'm sure a lot of the audience would have heard of these. Are like sort of a cell that will then turn into something else. So fibroblasts turn into collagen. So when you stimulate them, you'll produce more collagen. And when you produce more collagen, you'll reduce the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. You'll slow down the rate of aging. Collagen typically peaks around sort of mid-20s and then just starts to decrease in every year that you age. So less collagen, less elasticity. So that's what the red light seems to do. Near infrared light, it's an invisible frequency of light, and most studied between 830 and 880 nanometers, 850 being the most studied. And that frequency of light penetrates into the skin and further into the bone and muscle. So what that does is it boosts mitochondrial energy at the muscle and bone level. The more energy you have in the mitochondria, more ATP, the more it can repair any damage in those areas. So, for instance, if you have a problem with your joints, you would use near infrared light at 850 nanometers because it would stimulate a precursor cell called osteoblasts to help form new bone and repair. So that's why that's super important. Then then it comes down to a radiance, which is the power density of red light. So this goes back to what I was saying earlier about therapeutic red light and red light in bulbs. You can't just buy a red light bulb for £20 and that's used to illuminate a room and stand in front of it and get red light therapy, because the power density isn't therapeutic. It's not medical grade. It's not going to do anything unless you sit in front of it for 24 hours a day, and then you might get a little bit of collagen production. So irradiance is super important. And in a red light face mask, because it's so close to your skin, it needs to be around 40 milliwatts per centimeter squared. Most of the red light face masks you'll buy won't be anywhere near that. So you'll have to wear it for 3 hours, but they won't tell you that because they don't know the science. The same with like full body panels and blankets. They need to be over 100 milliwatts. That's a super high power density. And again, majority of the brands out there, it won't come close to that. The reason it won't come close to that is because they're not registered with the FDA or the TGA, and you need that power density to achieve medical grade status. So you've got to be careful. And this isn't a plug to buy Bon Charge. There's other great brands out there. Juve are another great brand. Higher Dose. Ourselves, we're looking at the science, and you wouldn't go wrong with any of those brands. But there are a lot out there that will be a lot cheaper than those 3 brands I've mentioned. And it'd be very tempting to go, I'll just get it. It looks like it. But when you start to dive into the irradiance and the actual science that's used to build those products, that they're not the same. So
interesting. And with your blankets, can you wear clothes with them on as well, or not?
No. It won't penetrate the clothes, so you wouldn't get any benefits. You need to be, the body part that you're looking to target needs to be fully exposed to it. So if you're doing full body, you want to go in naked or in a bikini or something like that. Sauna's a little bit different. People confuse infrared sauna with red light therapy. It's not. That's far infrared light. It's very different. It's topical heating purposes. That you can go in with your clothes on. That penetrates the body.
Yeah. And is your red light mask similar to your blankets, just different formats?
Yeah, and different irradiances.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to go the other way as well, right? With irradiance. So if I put 100 milliwatts per centimeter squared in my red light face mask, it would burn you. Because it's like literally like touching your skin, and there's almost too high you can go, and the face is very delicate. The body can tolerate it a little bit more, and that's why it's higher in our blankets and panels. So you got to look at, I guess you got to look at that as well, because some other brands will go, this is 200 milliwatts, and it's like, it won't be, because you'd be fried. It's not good. So more isn't always better, and that also comes down to efficacy as well, right? So there's a maximal effective dose of red light therapy. So with a face mask, it's typically about 20 minutes. With a panel, it's typically the same time, maybe 15 to 25. Any red light therapy after that does nothing. There's no extra benefits. It caps out. It's a bit like filling up your car with petrol, right? You can fill it up till it's full, but if you keep it on, it's just going to overflow out. It's not going to benefit your car anymore, right? Same with red light therapy. You just got to have, doing more of it isn't going to provide more benefits.
Okay, so interesting. So then you touched on infrared. So what's the difference? Because again, you're right. People see, like red light or infrared. Oh yeah, cool, same. What's the difference between the two?
Yeah, people get into an infrared sauna and think they're doing red light therapy. That's the problem. So I guess there's three therapeutic light wavelengths. One, the two we've spoken about is red light visible. That's what you're seeing from your red light face mask. Those red light face masks and panels, they also have near infrared in, but you can't see it. It's invisible to the naked eye unless you get your phone out and video it, and you'll see a purple sort of glow, and then you'll know there's infrared in it. That's near infrared. Okay. Then even longer wavelength is far infrared light. Now, far infrared light, it doesn't stimulate any like osteoblast or fibroblast activation. It doesn't go into the mitochondria and stimulate more ATP production. And that's ultimately what red light therapy does. It frees up oxygen, helps cytochrome C oxidase at the fourth phase of electron chain transport to produce more ATP, adenosine triphosphate, which is more energy. That's the like technical term for the geeks listening, like me. But what far infrared light does is it heats the body. So it goes in and it heats you up, like heats your skin up. Now what a traditional sauna does is it heats the air around you. So you have to get incredibly high temperatures to get the same detoxification, purification, sweating, heart rate that an infrared sauna does, because the light is heating you personally. You can get heated up to, say, 80 degrees centigrade and get the same benefits of heating up to 90, 95 in a regular sauna. And it also doesn't create humidity. So when you're in a dry sauna, that creates humidity, which becomes an issue for some people, whereas with far infrared light, it doesn't. It just heats the body, so you just feel warm and you're still getting those amazing benefits. But why people confuse far infrared light with red light therapy is they, number one, think that infrared is all the same. It's not. Near and far, very different, as we've explained. But also these damn saunas like to put red light in them, and it's not therapeutic red light, it's just literally a calming red light, like a mood lighting. And then people go, but I'm getting it, like it's red, and it's like, it's not, it's invisible. So yeah, they're very different, right? So you got red light for the skin, near infrared light for the bones and muscles, far infrared light like in the saunas to heat the body.
And are there benefits or like pros and cons to a sauna versus an infrared sauna? Or is it kind of more personal preference?
It's exactly the same benefits.
Yeah.
Finnish sauna, like the ones where you put the coals on, the dry saunas, it's literally different temperatures. So you'll get higher temperatures in a dry sauna, lower temperatures in an infrared sauna. Benefits exactly the same.
Okay.
At those temperatures.
So if we're going along the kind of product timeline, where was the infrared launch for One Charge?
Yeah, so that came before the face mask.
That came before the face mask.
So we had red light panels to start with.
Yeah.
Proper biohacking, like we weren't into face masks then. It was like, we want biohacking, pure lab grade medical devices. Then came the sauna blanket, and that was a huge success. It was our best-selling product for 18 months until we launched the face mask, and that became the best-selling product, then the red light blanket. That did really well. And that was really good because it was launched during the pandemic, so people couldn't get to the gyms where they were using infrared saunas or general saunas, and they wanted them in their homes. So that did really, really well.
It makes it really accessible. And I think the benefits of a sauna, I got into a really good routine where, again, in January, I was having a sauna 3 times a week, which was amazing in the morning.
Brilliant.
I'd like gym, sauna, because again, similar to red light mask, 15 to 20 minutes is roughly all you need. Am I right in saying that? After that, you don't need to be in there any longer. Yeah,
it all comes down to different phases. Like if you go too far, like one end of the spectrum, like a couple of minutes, no benefit, all the way to pure dehydration, cellular damage, and then in between there's sweet spots. So let me ask you this: why did you use a sauna 3 times a week? What was your goal in using that?
Detoxification.
Yeah. See, this is the good thing, right? This is where you're a pioneer, and I'm sure your listeners are as well, is there's got to be a reason to do something. And I'm all for that. What I don't like is when someone says, well, I do an infrared sauna because it's healthy. And it's like, but why? Why are you doing it? Why do you need to detox? Well, you live in a city. You're going to be exposed to a lot of pollutants, a lot of PFAS, a lot of damaging chemicals. You're going to want to detox more. It's understanding why you're doing something. I think one of the worst things in wellness and biohacking is people that just go, I'm going to take glutathione, I'm going to go in a sauna and detoxify, I'm going to do red light therapy, I'm going to eat this type of diet. And it's like, why? There's got to be a why. Otherwise it can get very dangerous.
So true. And also overwhelming. Like there's so much you can do. There's sometimes you can't do it all, but one doesn't need to do it all. Like you need to know your why, which I'm a massive one for that. But I also think I had someone on the podcast earlier this year, and they were talking about like kind of breath work and also like lymphatic drainage and how we consume a lot of liquid. We have a lot of intake. And with that, you've got to get things out of the body, and that comes from sweating. And not everyone sweats every day. Like I actually remember my mum once saying that she hates sweating. She hates the process. She's like, oh my God, I'm about to sweat, we'll stop her workout. And I'm like, no, that's a good part. And I think, I love running. I don't run every day, but that's a great sweat workout. But I also love kind of Pilates and like lower, what's it called? Lower intensity workouts. And that's not as sweat inducing. But a sauna is so great to do that. And I think it's great. But I sometimes, again, when you're busy, it's just trying to fit everything in. Whereas an infrared kind of blanket is amazing because you can do that whilst watching
telly,
TV,
reading a book. So
that's really, really good.
It's all about habit stacking, right? We're all time poor. It's not that it's not that we don't want to do wellness, we don't have the time to do it a lot of the time. And habit stacking is super important. Like, wear a red light face mask whilst making your healthy dinner. Get into your sauna blanket while watching EastEnders or whatever it is people watch these days. When you're doing your work in the evening, wear blue light blocking glasses. You can like stack them up loads, you know, like we see people with blue light glasses on in their sauna blanket, watching their show, EMF shielding, you know, they've got everything going on, the red lights as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's also just super important, going back to what you were saying about, I guess, the breath work side of things, and the guy talking about we take in a lot of fluid and we need to get rid of it through sweating. Everything comes back to ancestral ways of living, same as circadian rhythm, right? And the same as light as a nutrient. We would have taken in a lot of fluid ancestrally, but we would have sweated a lot because we would have been out hunting, we would have been gathering, we would have been like running, jogging, walking long distances throughout the day, sweating. So that would have happened. But in our modern world, we're not doing that. We're walking to the tube for 5 minutes, going to the tube to an office, sitting under artificial light, disrupting our circadian rhythm, destroying our posture by sitting, not sweating because we're in an air-conditioned, temperature-controlled office. We need to get back to how our ancestors lived. And I'm always one to not say, you know, go and live in a field and become a biohacker, because a lot of people I follow now walking around barefoot, looking terrible, living in a mountain in Costa Rica somewhere. But you can do it in a city. You can sit in that air-conditioned office as long as you're having regular breaks outside, having some breaks during the day, eating your lunch outside. Are you on a clear day, non-rainy day, still getting the tube? Don't cycle, leave early. Are you working out in a blue lit gym? Like, that's not great for you. That's going to be really bad for your heart and your cells and your aging. Can you work out outside? Are you running on a treadmill in a gym? Stop it, run outside. You know, it's going back to these types of things.
Who invented that?
I know.
Like, that is just a no. Just get outside. Like,
run outside.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah.
We've covered a lot of the red light products, but the toothbrush, I feel like, is a new one you have launched.
Yeah.
So we've probably skipped a few products in this gap.
That's
but
cool.
This bit, I'm like, oh, tell me about this. Like, why did you need, or why do we need a red light toothbrush?
Yeah. You know what? We're all about innovation. The model up until now, because we have got some innovation coming out that's going to be brand new, has always been it's been a bit like James Dyson's model, right? With the vacuum cleaner and the hair dryer and those hand dryer things in the bathrooms. He's not inventing products. He's taking products that already exist and improving them. That's what we did with blue light glasses, red light therapy, saunas, EMF protection, everything. It's what we did. We took a light bulb and improved it. The same's true with the toothbrush. There's been absolutely no innovation for decades. Like, you know, I've been out of the UK for 15 years now, and I come back and switch on the TV and it's the same Oral-B advert. It's the same shit. No one's innovating. Surrey maybe were the ones that were trying to innovate with UV light, but not with red light. And the way we launch products, we have 2 PhDs in our Sydney office who trawl through the literature every day, and they're finding what is the latest studies around red light therapy, biohacking, everything, all the way up to vibroacoustics, like archaeoacoustics, like other end of the spectrum where we don't even have products. We want to understand what we can do more beneficially with using these types of protocols. And there was a lot of studies coming out around red light therapy for oral health, and it was actually interestingly enough, the way this got started was another guest that has been on your show and works for us now, Eleanor. She came to me and said, this is interesting. It's a study on oral health and red light therapy. And she was like, someone needs to invent a toothbrush. And we were like, well, we'll invent that toothbrush. So it came from her, and we sent it to our PhDs, and they validated that, yes, the study was great. They went and did more research, because the thing is, you only brush your teeth for 2 minutes. And we're saying efficacy for red light therapy is 20 minutes. But there was a whole bunch of literature that was showing that less than 1 minute exposure of the gums to red light therapy would help with reversing and preventing gum disease and strengthening enamel on teeth. It was crazy. So we developed the toothbrush, it took us 3 months. Normally it takes us a year to develop these products, but we did it in 3 months because we knew exactly what we needed to do. We launched it and it's now our third best-selling product, and it's only been out for like 2 months. So.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I guess because the mouth is a very sensitive area.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing, you'd only need a small amount to make a big difference.
Yeah, exactly. It's exposed, isn't it? 'Cause it's like almost not skin, is it? It's like sort of
it really
exposed,
is.
and I think that really, really helped. And it's just crazy how that has not been done. Like when it was said to me, I was like, surely someone's doing this, and they weren't. So
but dentists aren't doing this.
No, why are dentists not even doing it?
I'm just thinking back to like when I go to the dentist or the hygienist.
Yeah,
you're paying like, it's not cheap.
Yeah.
And you're going through this whole process that's also not pleasant. Yeah. And no one's doing this. No. And it's like, that could make a massive, massive difference.
Yeah. And the thing is as well, we have a scientific advisory board. We're the only wellness technology brand that has a scientific advisory board. So we have PhDs that are on this board that advise us on products. And one of the guys that joined our board after we released the toothbrush was Dr. Seb Lomas, who's really big in the UK. And he uses red light therapy, like he uses our red light therapy panels for his patients. And it's like, how have we not put 2 and 2 together here?
Oh my gosh.
Like all of us haven't thought of this. Yeah.
He must love that then.
He loves it, yeah.
That's insane. So I think we need to touch on EMF.
Okay.
Because again, we're now seeing a lot of people adopting the wired headphones more, which is great to see. Mm-hmm. I have one of your EMF stickers on the back of my phone.
Amazing. Good.
I'm very aware of, because the more you think about it, the more you're like, like I can airdrop pictures from my phone to my laptop, and that's kind of quite weird. I'm always like, what's going on? So you see all these waves, they're all there, and you're like, well, how are we being affected by this? So why is EMF bad? Well, firstly, what is it?
Okay.
And why is it bad? Why should we be blocking it?
Okay. Yeah, it's a complex topic.
Yeah.
But let me try and explain it really basically. So we're all energy, right? This table's energy. It's vibrating. We're vibrating. All the cells in our body are vibrating. This cup, everything is vibrating. You just can't see it. Now, we vibrate and resonate with magnetism as humans. And typically, we resonate with something called the Schumann resonance, which is the vibration of the Earth. The Earth has its own electromagnetic field, which is an EMF. That's at 7.8 hertz. So as the Earth rotates, it creates that energy, and that has been shown categorically in studies that it's the most anti-inflammatory frequency for humans. So when you walk barefoot on the Earth, something called grounding, your body absorbs that 7.8 hertz, anti-inflammatory. It's really good for you. That's why people love grounding. When you wear shoes, the rubber sole stops that entering the body. So we're not accessing that natural frequency that our cells are rotating in our body at. So we have more inflammation in our body. It's not anti-inflammatory. Now, we have then something, so that those are natural frequencies of electromagnetic fields, so they're good. We also have other electromagnetic fields in our body, EMFs, such as delta waves. So delta waves help us get into deep sleep. They oscillate in the brain when more GABA is produced, and they're really beneficial for sleep. So they're between 1 and 3 hertz. Then we have other frequencies like alpha waves, which are incredibly good for creativity and productivity. And they're all different sort of oscillations that our cells can spin at that get us into different states. So whether we want to be creative, productive, sleep, anti-inflammatory, and so forth. And those typically run from 1 to 30 hertz. Now, what we've done, a bit like what we did with light, we decided we wanted to make our own EMFs. So they're called something called NN-EMF, non-native EMFs. So they're not native to this planet. So we've created things like Bluetooth, 4G, 5G, Wi-Fi, cellular networks. And these are non-ionizing radiations that spin 100,000, 10,000 times faster than the natural frequencies our body are used to. Now, let me give you an analogy before I go into why they're bad. When you go into a supermarket, let's just say you're going into Harrods on Christmas Eve to do some last minute shopping. How are you going to feel being in there? Stressed.
Yeah, it's manic.
Yeah, and you're feeling stressed because your cells are mimicking the energy that's in that environment. So they're spinning faster, they're getting you more intense and more agitated, and you just want to be out of there before you punch someone. Now, what happens And that's fine to be in, but you remove yourself from it and your cells will calm down. When you're constantly around a non-native EMF, your cells are going to mimic that frequency. So Bluetooth is like 100 times faster than what it should be. 4G is about 1,000. 5G is about 100,000 times faster than 4G. So our cells start to spin faster and faster to mimic 5G if you're around it all the time. Now, when cells rotate more and spin faster, they age faster and they turn over faster. So when cells replicate and turn over, eventually you get a mutation and eventually you get the C word. Mm-hmm. That normally happens when you're in your 80s or 90s because cellular turnover, mutant cells will come out, and by that time you're in old age anyway and you'll pass away. The issue you've got is people are getting cancers younger and younger, in their early 20s, even younger than that. Why are they getting that? I'm not saying it's EMF that's causing that, but we've got to start looking at, well, our cells are turning over faster. Is this contributing to the massive pollution levels? We've got EMF levels, we've got blue light, we've got shitty processed food that we're eating, we're not exercising. It's one of those pillars that needs to be looked at more. And a lot of studies that are coming out in animals at the moment are showing that, well, this is potentially going to be an issue. The problem we've got is, and this, I was on Dave Asprey's podcast recording back in Australia last month, and we were talking about cell phone radiation. And I can give you an anecdotal reason as to why cell phone radiation, 5G, and Wi-Fi is really, really bad. Dave used to carry his phone in his pocket when he was younger. It was in his left pocket. And he went and did a bone density scan. And his bone density throughout his body was really, really good, except for one place, his left hip.
Oh my God.
It was terrible. And it was the only thing that's different from this amazing biohacking life that he follows was his cell phone was next to his leg. And that was a wake-up call that EMF was just really something we need to be mindful of. And I will caveat that I'm always evidence-based in what I say. There needs to be more studies on this. But in the 70s, there needed to be more studies on smoking, on blue light, and those have now all come to fruition and shown, oh yeah, smoking is bad and blue light is dangerous. Prevention is probably better with EMFs. So we need to start taking them seriously in so much of, we need to be turning off our Wi-Fi when we sleep, putting our phone on airplane mode whilst we're sleeping. You watch your sleep scores go up. Wi-Fi has also been shown to impact blood glucose levels. So our ability to tolerate carbohydrate is impacted by Wi-Fi radiation. The studies have shown this. So if you're eating carbs around Wi-Fi, you're more likely to store them as body fat than if the Wi-Fi is turned off. So these are like preliminary studies that are coming out.
Oh my God.
So bad. So Wi-Fi off at night. Using wired networks on your laptops while you can, Ethernet plugged in, then you're not having it in your environment. The issue we've got sat in a building like this is if you turn all the Wi-Fi off in your house, you've got it coming up through the floorboards, down through here, everywhere. It's almost like a microwave oven. Yeah. I had a building biologist come out to our apartment when we had it. I had it for 18 months and I sold it because of the results that I got from a building biologist. My bedroom I was sleeping in had almost as much radiation as being sat next to like a 5G cell tower. It was almost like sleeping in a microwave. It was so bad. So the building biologist will come around and they assess all your home for these radiations and tell you what you need to do. And the list that I had to do was so bad that she was just like, you need to move because you're going to have major issues. And mine and Katie's health is the worst it's been whilst living in this apartment. She could hear the EMF. She's really like tuned into frequencies. We went to Stonehenge and she could hear the frequencies of Stonehenge, for instance. She can hear Wi-Fi and Bluetooth when she's around it in high quantities, and it was constantly ringing in her ears. And it was like the sickest we'd been. So real bad.
I know I've got a Wi-Fi booster in my room.
Yeah, that's bad. That needs to go.
Yeah. And that's because I work in the indoor garden. I've made it into an office, which in the winter is freezing. But in order for the Wi-Fi to get to that point, I put a Wi-Fi booster in my room, which is on at night.
So that needs to go off at night, and you can still use it for during the day. You got to be cognizant of what it's doing, right? So and again, I always hate these things because they caveat into products we offer, and I hate it because I'm not selling them. I'm just trying to give information. But you need to look at EMF blocking technology. So for instance, I use an EMF blocking laptop mat. Katie always gives me a hard time because I still use the prototype from 5 years ago. I don't even have a branded one. And she goes, you're the CEO of this company, you can have a branded one. So that goes under my laptop, because even if that laptop is sat here, it passes through here, and it's going to, the Wi-Fi is going to go into places you don't want it to go to. Sperm counts in males are at an all-time low, and studies that we've seen on Wi-Fi, people that are using these devices on their laps, sperm counts going down. And if you're looking to start a family as a guy, that's bad news, right? Yeah. Testicular cancers, those types of things could be an issue if you continue using those types of devices without protection. EMF blocking blankets are great as well. Like, put that over you when you're using. Kourtney Kardashian uses ours, actually. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I think any PR is great PR. That sounds great.
Yeah, that's good. So she had it when she was pregnant, cover the baby that was inside her, because she was concerned about the radiation. Things like phone cases, you can put your phone in. I always had mine on airplane mode. I haven't got it here because I put it well away from me. I don't want it near me whilst I'm sat recording with you. But that's on airplane mode as I walked to this conversation, because I don't want it on attracting all the signals.
Wow.
So yeah, and you can go even more extreme. You can create Faraday cages, right? So you can have your bed can have like this net. We don't sell this thing, but it's a net that goes over your bed that blocks all signal coming into your bed while you sleep, and you just hang it on the ceiling, and it like drapes down, a bit like a mosquito net.
I was going to say, like a mosquito
net.
Yeah,
like that.
Wow.
But you've got to be careful with those.
Yeah.
Because if you're inside them and you use Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, or you're on your phone and a signal gets in and you're on your phone, it's just going to rebound in, and you're going to be really intensifying it. So you've got to be very careful. You can't have any EMF electrical devices inside that Faraday cage.
Honestly, it's actually so fascinating, because also this world is like 5G's come out, there'll be 6G in a minute. Wi-Fi speeds are getting faster. I was with my godfather yesterday, who was telling me about a brand new Wi-Fi he's got called Starling, and apparently it's amazing, and he was saying how great it is, and that's great for work and for downloading Netflix movie and whatever. But the first thing that came to my head was, oh my god, the radiation now in the home is probably even worse. So you're constantly fighting against the world, and it's so hard. People listening to this must be like, oh my god, now what, where do I go? Because it can get to that point. But I do think, we mentioned habit stacking, but I think it's a bit like that. Like, just pick one thing, get that, then the next. So having an EMF blocking sticker on your phone, I'm guessing that's kind of just one step in the right direction. But there's so many other things that you can do. So many things, It is quite scary. I mean, I worry if a bedroom biologist came into here, or a building biologist, that would be, I'm sure it would be really concerning, because the good thing is, though, is they can tell you areas within your house that are lower EMF, so you can spend more time in them. Okay, that's good.
You'll find, I mean, I'm just looking out your window now, you've got so many buildings around you, it's probably I can tell you right now, don't do it. You're just gonna be like, nah.
Depressed.
But yeah, look, this is the thing that it frustrates me with wellness and biohacking, because you're right, everything is wrong with the world, right? Everything is. The cups we're drinking out of, the technology we're using, the environment that we're living in, our technological revolution evolution has happened so quickly and continues to happen so quickly that biologically we can't keep up. We still got the caveman circadian rhythm and body, and we're in this environment now that's alien to us. We got to look at biohacking as a spectrum. Like, are we, like exactly as you said, and I'm so glad you said it, is someone starting out, take one thing that is really simple, ground, go and drink, reverse osmosis water, wear blue light glasses, watch the sunrise, simple things like that. Don't cost a lot to do. Don't drink out of plastic, stuff like that. And then you've got to tackle it slowly. If you go and try and do everything, you're just not going to do it. It's so difficult. You've got to just look at each area of your life. And then once you've completed that and gone, brilliant, I've got my light hygiene in order. I've got red light therapy. I've got red light bulbs. I wear blue light blocking glasses, and I'm dimming the lights at night. Brilliant. To, all the way up to, am I, doing bloods every month to check certain levels. Am I doing peptides for certain optimization? And, you know, those types of things people are going to look at and go, fuck that, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
But you get to that area, and some people will stop after, you know, level 3 out of 10. Some people will go 10 out of 10 and break the barriers. The Brian Johnsons of this world will do that. Some people would do 1 and go, you know what, I can't be bothered.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Just trying something is great. And everyone's a biohacker, and I know that word is slightly taboo because it's quite a masculine word, but everyone is biohacking in some way. Like, whether if you're on a specific diet, you're biohacking your diet. If you're walking, you're biohacking. It's things like that. So people are doing it, and I think a lot of people will be surprised how much they're doing really well in biohacking already, and it's just adding some of these other protocols in and seeing how you respond. And I think that's also super important, because Brian Johnson's protocol isn't going to be for everyone. He might respond to something that you don't respond to. I respond incredibly well to eating, you know, predominantly an animal-based diet, but a vegan could respond really well to just that type of diet, or something in between, a Mediterranean diet maybe. It's all personal, and this is where wellness is going. It's personalization and looking and testing yourself. And this is why people wear these trackers like these Whoops and Auras now, because they can dial in a little bit more. And you know, I do blood tests every 3 months to see exactly where I'm at. It's just super important to be incredibly dialed in and see what moves the needle for you. You know, I'm a hyperly slow responder to processing caffeine, but some people can have a coffee at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and feel amazing, and they'll check on their Whoop, their sleep score, and it's 100%.
Yeah.
If I did that, it'd be 4, you know, out of 100. It'd be dreadful. So you've got to know your own body. And I had a huge discovery a couple of years ago from a DNA test. I have an APOE4 gene. I have one variant which makes me more susceptible to Alzheimer's disease. So I have to then look at brain health a lot more, omega-3s. When I'm looking at my animal base, I've got to eat a lot more fish, a lot more olive oil, things like that. But if I hadn't have known about that, I could have been following, say, a more vegetable-based diet, which is incredibly bad for that type of gene. It does a lot better on a lower carb approach. So yeah, it's being more dialed in and not listening to, you know, people out there like, you know, the Brian Johnsons or the Dave Aspreys and the others that are saying you have to do this. You don't have to do anything. You just got to do it, test it. How do you feel? Do you feel better? Brilliant. Do more of it. Do you feel neutral? No benefit? Don't do any more of it. Yeah,
it's like truly listening to your body.
Yeah.
And like, you can use a device for that, or you can just like listen and like write a food diary, how you're reacting, like do something for a long period of time. And like, I think that's like the biggest thing. And also I always say, like, health is change. Like, you're never going to know unless you change it and see what happens.
Yeah.
And change is great. Like, changing something up. I always think it's so sad when people have the same food shop and they just go like, repeat.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, like, are you sure that works for you? Like, what if you just try something else? Like, if it does work and you've tried, test it, then you can repeat. But like, variety and trying different things is really good. But yeah, I do think it is important. I mean, you mentioned a DNA test. That is one of the things I really want to do next year, because I'm just fascinated to see. I mentioned it to my parents and they're like, wait, so you don't think we're your parents? I'm like, no, I don't mean that. I don't mean that. I know, so good. I'd love to kind of touch on like your routine, but more so in terms of like Bon Charge products. Like, where do they fit? What products do you use personally, and where do they fit into your life?
Yeah. I guess my favorites are blue light blocking glasses. Like, they're a non-negotiable for me. They'll be on when I get back to my apartment. Unfortunately, I'm in an apartment in London. I don't really have much choice here. I like red light therapy blanket, infrared sauna blanket, and PEMF, pulse electromagnetic field therapy as well. So that's taking what we were talking about earlier, the natural frequencies of EMF and pulsing them into your body. Great for restoration. Let me talk you through, I guess, all the other stuff I do. So when I go to bed in the evening, it's normally 9 p.m., 9:30, and then I'm normally up at 5 or 6 a.m. So I like 8 hours of sleep. I wear my blue light blocking glasses a couple of hours before I want to go to bed. I will not eat anything 3 hours before I go to sleep, because digestion gets in the way of melatonin production. So melatonin is actually created in the gut, mixing with serotonin and tryptophan. So once you start digesting food in the evening, that gets in the way of that process. So that's why I don't eat in the evenings. I don't drink because I don't want to be up all night using the bathroom. So 3 hours before, no food. 2 hours before, no fluids. 1 hour before, no screens. Okay, 3, 2, 1. And I wear my blue light blocking glasses. I'll do a little bit of breath work sometimes if I'm feeling a little bit stressed. So 4 seconds in, 8 seconds out, 5 minutes of that. It's great. Parasympathetic state, gets you relaxed. 100% blackout room is a non-negotiable for me. So when I travel a lot, so I travel with black electrical tape. So I go around taping all the bloody blue light up that's on clocks and TVs. I will turn my phone to airplane mode. It's almost like pre-cooling, like preheating an oven. I'll pre-cool my bedroom to 16 degrees centigrade. I've tested my sleep at different temperatures, and 16 is the most optimal for me. This is where like these things like, Sleep Me and 8 Sleep come in handy, because you can, as long as you don't care about EMF levels frying your body, you can sleep on a cold mattress. I prefer the aircon myself. I guess like having an air filter is very important as well, especially in London. So I buy one. I don't travel with it. I just buy one when I get here and plug that in and make sure that's filtering round. If the room then I'm sleeping in, I'm very fussy. I always ring ahead hotels. Is my room blackout? Normally it is. If it isn't, I have a blackout sleep mask. We sell those at Bond Charge as well that I'll wear. They have like hollow eye cups and go round, so you don't have any pressure on your eyes. It's bad for you. And then I also use mouth tape, which is funny. That's definitely not loaded. I was not asked to say that. I've been wearing mouth tape for a long time. So I do that. The reason I do that is because nasal breathing is just so much better for oxygen flow into the cells, into the lungs, which is good. Mouth breathing as well is so bad for the gut microbiome. So ensuring that's taped up and I'm not taking too much oxygen through the mouth, I'm not going to disrupt my oral and gut microbiome as well. I don't set an alarm. I naturally, luckily, are so entrained my circadian rhythm, it knows when I've had my 8 hours of sleep. Then if I'm in a country that allows it, I watch the sunrise. It's a bit difficult here. But just, you don't have to watch the sunrise. Just being out when that natural light is present and seeing that first is very important, because when I travel, I put Bond Charge light bulbs in I take out their light bulbs and put ours in. So I have that in the morning. So before the sunrise, I'm up, because the sunrise is not until 7:30 or something here in London. So I'm up at like 5, 6. I just turn on our light bulb. So it's this red amber light. And that's like what our ancestors would have seen if they had got up before the sunrise, because they would have been around a campfire. So I'm not disrupting it. And if I'm on my phone in the morning doing some work on my laptop, I turn the screen red, so there's 0 blue and green light coming from it. During the day, I won't wear sunglasses unless there is intense, unnatural glare. So if I'm walking through a city and it's off the building glaring, that's really bad. But I won't wear sunglasses because I want light to be not filtered going into my body clock. So I want it going through my skin. I won't wear sun cream. I want it going through my eyes. I want the sun telling my body what time of day it is. And I'm outside a lot. Luckily, I work in the sort of mornings, and luckily now I have a team that do the majority of the laptop-y style work. So that's great. So I'm outside a lot. But if I'm working during the day on my laptop, every couple of hours I'm going out for a sun break, 10 minutes, just being outside. Even if it's raining, I want to be out in natural light, getting the correct cues to my body. I also have red light next to my laptop. So I have lamps that are pointing out at me whilst I'm working. So people can dim the blue light, but there's still blue light in it. So it's still damaging the cell. So I have red light around it during the day. I'll also have my laptop wired Ethernet where possible. If I'm doing a high load of work, potentially EMF clothing as well. I've got a hoodie that blocks EMF with silver fabric inside it, and also the blanket. If I don't have that, I just drape it over me. It's super easy. If I'm in the gym, I'll typically wear yellow lens blue light glasses, because fluorescent light is really bad. Fluorescent light, there's actually a theory that it potentially activates mercury in the body. mercury resonance theory, it's called, by Dr. Alexander Wunsch in Germany. He's doing a lot of studies on it. So I don't want that passing through my eyes. So I wear yellow lenses if it's those horrible bar fluorescent lights, typically in gyms. Drink reverse osmosis water out of a glass bottle. That's the best water you can, best water that's available. I could talk to you for an hour on water and fourth phase and Gerald Pollack's work on that, but that's a different conversation. And then I will use air tube headphones when in the gym, because Bluetooth is obviously, I don't want that anywhere near my brain. Wired headphones, not that great either, because RF radiation is still passing through your ears, whereas an air tube will change the RF radio frequency signal to an acoustic signal, which is an inert signal, and then that passes through the ears and there's no damage cellularly. So that's why air tubes are super important. Then as the night comes in, I've already talked a little bit about that, but late afternoon, I'll typically do some red light therapy or a sauna. I won't do all of them. I won't have time. Katie will do a face mask. I don't typically use the face mask because I'll just do a panel or get in the red light blanket or use a sauna, which is fine. And that's kind of my day. I've probably missed some things. I'll try and ground where possible. It's a bit difficult in London. That's where PEMF mats work, because you can ground on those by setting to 8 hertz on the mat. The grass is just a bit soggy this time of the year.
Yeah,
it's a bit difficult.
You've got to find a balance somewhere.
Yeah.
That's fascinating though. But that's taken time. I think it's also good to note that that is 100%. Such an optimal routine now.
Yeah.
But you've been fine-tuning that to your lifestyle over such a long period of time. And I think that's the goal and the optimum for people to get to. But it takes a minute to work out and find your flow and find what works for you and get into, because everyone's different jobs, different locations, different routines. And I think that is the goal. I'm listening take note on that. But it takes time to get to that.
It does.
But I mean, that is the optimal. So impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, I now want to talk about water, but that's going to have to be for a separate episode because we can't get into that now.
Yeah.
But I have a final question, which is, what's in your bag? Did you bring a bag? And if so, do you mind sharing what's in your bag?
I didn't bring a bag. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I don't typically carry a bag. But if I was to carry a bag, let me tell you what I would bring.
Yeah.
I would make sure I bring my own water. I'd definitely do that. Reverse osmosis, a little bit of Celtic sea salt in there is the best we'll probably get. I would probably also bring some of my own food as well, just in case I got hungry. So maybe some beef jerky or something like that for myself. And I'd probably bring some lighting as well. I'll probably bring a red light that we could have probably put in, but it probably would have messed up your amazing production.
I know, it's all about balance. It's all about balance.
Exactly.
You've got to take some leave, some it's hard.
Do the red light afterwards. That's fine.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, Andy, thank you so much for coming on. This has been incredible. I think you guys are on something so powerful here. I mean, how busy you guys are now and the increase in everything is just testament to what you're doing. I think it's amazing. So thank you so much.
No, I'm really honoured and humbled to be invited on. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for listening. And I know you absolutely loved that episode, because I did. And I know the episodes that I particularly love, you do too. If you want to have another amazing episode next week, again, click that follow and subscribe button so you'll be reminded when our next episode goes live next Tuesday. Thank you guys so much again, and see you next week.